Hey, how's it going, guys? Political Spatula here, giving you the news no matter how bad it hurts. So, I wanted to do another video talking about the reality of what's happening in Israel and Gaza, and do a video kind of more covering the history of that, and then debunking a couple of claims I saw in another video as well. So, my first point would be starting that the Israeli nation was proposed back in 1917 before the defeat of the Ottoman Empire. And all the nations that you see in the Middle East today are as a result of the Ottoman Empire being punished after World War I during a imperialist time in history. So would people still have complained if Israel was made a state when the Ottoman Empire had lost the war? And it's not exactly like we can go back in time now because it's already set in stone as well. So why are people arguing? That'd be like arguing about Ukraine and its right to exist. And they did not go through with their plans of making Israel a state back then, but they eventually would. In 1948, after World War II, they thought Jewish people needed a place to call home after they had been persecuted for hundreds of years across the world. And that's not exactly a terrible thing to ask for some people to have a place to call home in safety when the rest of the world doesn't want them, right? And now the people Israel is fighting is really Hamas, the Houthis, and Iran. And Hamas is currently the political party in charge of Palestine. And Hamas has plenty of crimes against humanity. Their treatment of people and women is absolutely horrendous. And that's no surprise because their parent country, Iran, has extremely bad human rights violations, with also its treatment of women and its treatment of journalists and people that speak out against the government. Okay. So we can't exactly forget who Palestine is being funded by. And the things I saw about what they were doing to people absolutely made my stomach turn. So let's get into the video and let's debunk some of the Young Turks' claims about this Jon Stewart presses John Fetterman on his zealotry for Israel. Let's get into the video.
And get your reaction to it.
Julian Andreoni.
Who are you with?
Drop Site News.
Oh, you're drop site. Oh, now it's like a race between who's the more pro Hamas, drop site or Zidio. So now I got both. Hi.
And the truth is, anyone that does support Hamas or shows positive light for a group of people that treats women and its own citizens so poorly should probably be investigated. And I'm going to show up a couple of facts on screen now about the reality of being a woman in Iran or the reality of being a woman under Hamas. It's absolutely horrendous, and the people will quickly glaze over those sort of facts to push their own narrative to maybe not make them look so bad. And I'm just here to straighten things out. And if you like what you hear so far, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment down below. It really helps out a lot, and we'll continue on with the video.
No, I mean, everything he said makes a ton of sense if you don't think about it. He's like literally, it's amazing to me. One of the best parts of the Jon Stewart interview, and I'll just mention that one first because he was allowed to ask questions, is the head tilt at the end.
And most of what these people are doing as well is just appeal to ridicule, which is where someone makes fun of an idea or a person, where they just use jokes or sarcasm to make them look silly instead of using real facts and claims, which is what they do pretty much this entire video. Instead of debunking or arguing, they just kind of laugh about some of the things he's saying and joke about it instead of diving deeper into them like I will be doing. All right, let's continue.
Stewart goes, "With all due respect, sir, that's not our country." And Fetterman goes, "What?"
Yeah, like he doesn't seem to care.
That's a good point. What about Pennsylvania? That's where you represent a lot of the people who are uninsured and can't afford groceries and can't afford prescription drugs live there. You've got a big city there, Philadelphia, another one, Pittsburgh.
And the only places he can name are Democratic sanctuary city crap holes in Pennsylvania. He doesn't mention the fact that rural Pennsylvania is actually doing quite fine. And yeah, it's no surprise that people in Democratic cities are struggling right now.
Influence the coverage. If they did, they would be dropped. We answered the question and he goes, "Well, what about your founders who love Hamas?" You'll never win with them.
Okay, so answer the question. Instead of doing appeal to ridicule and dancing around it without answering the question, why would you support Hamas? And we also can't forget that Hamas is using civilian infrastructure to hide and uses military bases and outposts, which is making it extremely hard for Israel to exactly pinpoint where they're going to be. And so people like the Young Turks will pick up coverage on this stuff and then kind of blame Israel for it. When what we're really seeing is Hamas using Vietnam-like tactics and putting a lot of civilians in danger because of what they're doing. I mean, these are the natures of conflicts. Like, I'm not going to sit here and water it down for you. Yes, it's a horrible thing.
And remember, guys, this is the guy who was pretending to be a progressive when he was running. Now he says he's furious with the progressives.
Yeah, that's probably because he's upset with the way Hamas treats its people, which is completely unforgivable, Chang. The fact that they glaze over that but will quickly run and leap to pointing out how Israel messes up is absolutely ridiculous. This is propaganda, because they're not talking about both sides equally. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Israel's done perfectly fine and everything they've done is okay, but in the broader scheme of things, what they're doing is better than what Hamas is doing. And why wouldn't he be super mad? Look who Israel is up against. Hamas, the Houthis, and Iran. And how many times do I have to talk about their human rights violations? No other country has that issue. Like in the UK, their government's not treating their people so poorly. The United States, the government's not treating their people so poorly. Germany, the government's not treating their people so poorly. Russia's government's not even treating their people so poorly. And you're going to sit here and tell me that we should completely back away from one of the few governments in the Middle East that actually treats women equally? Like, come on, let's live in reality here, Chank.
But if you betray a foreign government when they ask for more wars and more genocide, then that's a red line and I'll leave the party.
That is ridiculous. That is completely ridiculous. That is not what Israel is asking for. They're trying to put an end to Hamas and Iran's influence over the Middle East. And him glazing over that is definitely not helping Israel or the United States or the rest of the world at all. In fact, we would be regressing if that happened because of how Iran treats women. Not going to sit here and stop saying it.
In fact, let me let Jon Stewart take it from here.
And I'm assuming there's probably things in the Democratic platform that you might disagree with, but you don't disavow the entire thing. You're literally saying we can all have discussions, except when it comes to Israel, which is not America. It seems like a weird line to draw.
And also, yeah, if the United States were to stop supporting Israel, that would signal to people in the United States that we stop supporting Israel. We already see the rise in Jewish hate crimes across the United States, especially in New York since Mamdani got elected. Are we going to sit here and just ignore the fact that Germany during World War II said, we don't like Jews, and then all of a sudden the rest of the German population agreed? Or did they disagree? Like, what the government says does have a lot of sway among the population. They're just going to sit here and fan the flames and make them a little hotter for people. And just straight up underplay the facts and reality of what's happening.
Ask him again, why is that your red line? Let's check out one more video.
I don't think that's weird. I think what history demonstrates is that when people or a government or people turn their back to the Jewish community, things end really badly, and it's a dangerous.
Jewish community and Israel are not the same thing, brother man.
Why does he hit it like that? Like, come on. If the United States stopped backing Israel, that signals to the rest of the United States that we stop supporting Israel and the Jewish population. Like, come on. That would be like if the United States turned its back on the Vatican and disavowed the Vatican. Wouldn't that be a bad thing for Catholics across the United States? Wouldn't Catholics start getting a lot more backlash? So it's an incredibly short-sighted argument for them to sit here and say that and laugh about it. Because we did see this happen in World War II. And we can see it happening with these group of people where they're so quickly to laugh at it and brush it under the rug.
And the very left never said a peep after Iran executed 30 to 40,000 young people. What I'm saying though is, like, if anyone in the Democratic Party is fine with Iran building a nuclear bomb, I disagree with that person.
Again, I think you're caricaturing the issue.
No. Us turning our backs on Iran in Israel, that's exactly what would happen. Fetterman's right. He's incredibly intuitive on this. If the United States foreign policy stopped tempering in the Middle East, Iran would have a nuclear weapon. Hamas would be ruling Palestine and be full force in the war against Israel, and it would be way worse for the Israeli people. And they'd probably be fleeing to other countries. And then we'd be talking about something completely separate. And also, are these guys not pro women's rights? Or what are we on about here? Like, these groups should be taken out. And the Democrats are asking for us to turn our backs on the Middle East. So what did they think would happen to all the women and the activists and the protesters over there? What would that signal to everyone around the world? Such short-sighted arguments again.
Yeah, it was amazing. So he's trying to lecture Jon Stewart about the Jewish American community. Okay, by the way, they always pretend to speak for Jewish Americans. There's actually polling so they can speak for themselves. So 63% of Jewish Americans are opposed to the current Israeli government. And more Jewish Americans support Mamdani than Netanyahu.
And where are they getting these polls? You can get a poll from anywhere and cherry pick where you get it and pretty much determine your own results. And they don't even show the poll. Like, that's how confident they are, which is ridiculous. Nobody should be using polls. Polls are a very silly way to gather data. Every news organization always has a completely different poll. Don't use polls. No one should use polls. Polls are such an outdated thing now. Like, come on. Well, anyway, I hope you guys liked the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have anything to say. And have a good one.